Section 1.2, designing secure applications. Application security, how you can set the security at the fine-grained level. That's what we are going to see. This is not, you can think of the lecture as a mature lecture as of yet. I'm just going to give you high-level thoughts around it, but not getting in details how you can implement it. There are some codes, there are some chapters which I'm going to write it, where you will demonstrate how you can implement those security measures in your programming or code. The network level security, how you can design your network and all of that, that is all considered here. But looking at actual code, how you can use service accounts and all that, that is a part of the code example, which I'm going to give you in later stage. It starts with application regulatory requirement and legislation. Let's understand what is that we have on regulatory requirement and legislations. So the first and foremost, you can actually start with cloud.google.com/security, and this is where you can think of all your security measures at the starting point. That's where you can just go ahead and start. So this is, I'm in security, and they have created really nice page as of 2018 December. Earlier it was just a simple documentation, and you just go ahead and get a look at it. So there are different level of securities. That is what it is explained. Infrastructure level, there are security products, and how transparent Google is to share it with you. That is what they are going to explain it. Okay, I'm going to see that. There are compliance and regulatory requirement which are depends on the industry standard, depends on the geography you are in, whether you're in US, Europe, or Asia Pac, right? There are different standards which are mentioned, are required for you to follow, and Google is compliant with almost all the standards which are required for you to host your applications onto Google. So if you look at security solutions for your industry, like financial, what is that? If you look at, get in more details for individual market, how they satisfy the security and compliance requirement. So it is 27,001. If I click on here, what it will show? It will show which application comply to those security measures, right? So this is compliance with ISO standard 27001. All of these services from Google Cloud is compliant with that. Okay, so that is how you can understand what level of your requirement is, and then how you can drill down. Okay, as an example, HSBC has given the case studies, how they have implemented Google Cloud Storage and the security measures what they needed. The next one which I want to get into is how you can explore the infrastructure. Okay, so there are some application level, how you can avoid phishing, ransomware, denial of services. You can go to infrastructure, and I think they just reorganized it, but let me go ahead. Okay, so this is Google Cloud Security White Paper. If you go here, then GCP has explained you how services are protected in a transparent manner. Okay, and this is very important, how you can protect your own data. There are it's not only single white paper they have it, there are different white papers based on the type of service which you are using, whether it is infrastructure, whether it is your own application, right? So they have given you the complete set of security measures which you can I would say use it and implement it. So you need to understand what you have to do it, what is your role, and what is Google's role to secure your services. Going back to the slide deck, So that is where you start, right? You start with the security endpoints and start exploring the documentations. Security measures that protect your services and resources. So different app will have different level of security, and you can implement in different ways. Okay, in application level, you can think of IAM, user passwords, and all that. Like that's how you can protect your um, application access. How you can use IAM, that is altogether a different story. But I'll just give you high level details on what is that you can do it. Service account, if you look at, if you want to provide application to application access, or you want to control application to application access, you can use service account. You can use KMS to store your keys, right, securely. You can use encryption while data is getting transferred from one location to another location that is in transit. But at the same time, you can have your own encryption keys when you are storing your data onto Google Cloud Platform. Other one is the network level security. You can start with VPC, firewall, and definitely you can have IAM and encryption also incorporated on top of what VPC and firewall provides. Storing and rotating your secrets. So passwords and all those secrets, or the keys, right? Any keys that you want to use it for your application access or controlling your application access. You want to store your secrets somewhere, right? And that is where you can use KMS, Google KMS, to store your secrets, and you can even go ahead and configure the policy to rotate your secrets. So your keys will be rotated, and I'm going to put forward one demo to show how you can rotate your keys to access to your, say, cloud storage. Okay, I'm going to choose one of the example and show you the demo on how you can rotate your keys. And we'll see definitely that in action, how you can rotate your secrets. IAM roles, user group, and service accounts. So there are multiple level of IAM roles, and we are going to see this in detail in IAM, not in here, but just to give you a high level understanding about IAM roles. IAM role is a group of permissions together, and that is very important for you to understand, rather than you providing access or attaching individual level permissions to some users, because if at all there are developer category of users, they are going to possess similar or same kind of permissions to access Google Cloud Platform. So what you can do is you can create a developer role, and you can assign all the permissions which you want to give it to the developer. Or you want to say give access to a network engineer, right? Then you can create a role for network engineer for specific to your need, and assign it to the group of people. On top of the roles, you can create a group of users, right? IAM identities, and you can assign roles to that particular group, and you can manage permissions, access permissions to that particular group. So typically in IAM, you can either attach individual permissions to the users, or you can have roles attached to the users. A role has got two different aspect. One is predefined roles, which is already built in, specific to the services. You can think of, as an example, virtual machine administrator. So that is a role, right? So which is predefined, and you can just go ahead and attach that particular role to the account which you want to give up all that permissions. But if at all, say, predefined rules does not give you more flexibility, and you want to create your own, you can go ahead and create your own custom role, and you can attach it to the user. There is something which we need to talk about as a service account. As I said, a service account is for application to application access. So as an example, your virtual machine wants to access your cloud storage bucket in the read mode or the write mode, right? That level of that particular virtual machine, you can have a service account that will use to access the cloud storage bucket, and you can allow or restrict some permissions to that service account, and that is how the virtual machine will be here. Because if you look at a large enterprise organizations, there are n number of, say, virtual machines, right? So you don't want to give all the virtual machine have a permissions to, say, write into cloud storage or write onto your cloud SQL. Like MySQL, right? There are some virtual machines which will be only reading the data, and that is the expectation. Then you can restrict the permissions to those applications or the virtual machines, or you can think of Google services using service accounts. HTTPS certificates, we are going to get into details of our demo of HTTP or HTTPS load balancer. I'm not going to give you anything here, but you can secure your communication in two ways. You can either have a plain text like HTTP, which is non encrypted, while data is getting transmitted from user to your backend services. You can have SSL implemented. It is very generic SSL. You can implement a SSL certificate into your HTTPS load balancer or HTTP load balancer. That's how HTTP will turn into HTTPS load balancer. But we are going to see this in demo and not in here. But that is how you can protect your data, encrypting it from your user to ultimately backend services. Definitely, I said Google recommended practices and documentation. You can definitely start with /security cloud.google.com/security to understand the security measures. I'm going to create another section here which is not in the syllabus, but to give you high level you can think of, or next level of details about the security for you, but not in the phase 1, maybe phase 2 or phase 3. If you have any questions on security, guys, let me know. Otherwise, you can move to the next lecture. Thank you.